This is going to be a lengthy one. I do apologize in advance. This is a 6-mark question on the topic of, let's make sure you can see that, on the topic of speed time graphs or velocity time graphs or whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be a lengthy one. Let's jump right into it. Oh, I forgot to welcome you. Welcome to this video on a walkthrough of a speed time graph question for GCSE. Let's go do it. So let's zoom in to the question and see what's occurring, and then we go from there. So here is a speed time graph showing the speed in meters per second of an object t after it started to move. Confirm. Yeah, 5 seconds. This is the speed at which it's going. Okay, cool. So use 3 strips of equal width to estimate the area under the graph between T1 and T4. So it's T4 there, and this is T1 here. So we want 3 strips. I'm gonna pause the video here so I can get that bit done. Okay, let's bring you back in so you don't have to see that lengthy process. So these are my 3 strips, 1, 2, and 3 of equal sizes there. Yeah, equal width. And then we're going to find the area under this section. So what I want you to notice first of all is that these strips actually make a whole bunch of little trapeziums. So I'm going to literally just finish off that there so you can see the trapeziums that I'm making there. Let's go and find the area under the graph between these sections. Now the area of a trapezium is a plus b in brackets times by the height, and then divide by 2. And here are my trapeziums here. So the A and the B, these are your parallel sides here. So let's jump straight into it and see what's going on. So on this first parallel side here, I reckon that that goes up to 3.6. These are counting in 0.2s. 3.2, 4, 6, 8, and then 4. So that's going to be 3.6. Let's write them in so that I don't have to struggle to work it out in the meanwhile. So 3.6 there. This next one crosses at 6.4 here. So that's going to be 6.4. This next one crosses at 8.4 there. So let's put in that 8.4. And then finally, this one is 9.6 right there. That's perfect. So that's going to be 9.6. Make sure we're happy with everything we've done. I'm happy with all of those. So let's go ahead now. So I'm going to label my trapeziums A, B, and C. And let's start with trapezium A. Let's put our numbers in. The parallel sides first. 3.6 plus 6.4. So that's 3.6 plus 6.4. Times it by the height. Well, the height is the distance between the parallel sides, which is just 1. And then divide by 2. And this is going to give us 10 divided by 2, so that's going to be 5. Now we go to trapezium B. In the interest of time, I'm not hanging about. Parallel sides first, 6.4 and 8.4 there. So that's 6.4, add 8.4. Divide by 2. Don't forget the 1. I mean, it's really not necessary because the width between all of them are 1 anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that particular one. Anyway, that becomes 14.8, and then we divide that by 2, which gives us 7.4. And then finally we go down to trapezium C in here. We've got 8.4 and 9.6 there, so let's plunk that in. So that's 8.4 add 9.6, divide that by 2. We still got the 1 on the outside. That gives us 18 divided by 2, which is going to be equal to 9. So we can now say, do they want us to write this down the bottom somewhere? Let's have a look. Oh yes, they do. So I'm just going to put my working out in a sensible place over here. So I'm going to say that the surface area is going to be 5, add that 7.4, add that 9, which will give us 21.4. And as the part of the question that's worth the most marks, on its own, that's pretty much done. Everything else here is straightforward now. So let's see what they want to know. Describe fully what your answer represents. Let's go, and this time I won't stop the video. I'm just literally going to write it out. So this answer tells us the distance. Make sure my R looks like an R. Okay. The distance traveled between 1 and 4 seconds. Which reminds me, I probably should put my meters in there before somebody gets upset with me and yeah, then start roasting me in the comments. Anyway, explain whether your answer is an underestimate or an overestimate, and then they say explain for 1 mark. So this is an underestimate as part of the graph was missing. And just like that, we've got 6 marks. Now let me tell you why I said what I said there, okay? So let's pull this back down. Now when you draw your trapeziums here, these straight lines create errors because you see the space between the graph and your line? You are not actually finding the answers there, which is why this says find an estimate for the area. It's not an exact area, it's only an estimate, okay, because you are missing out parts of your graph there. And that's basically it. And so that's why this is an underestimate, because parts of your graph are missing. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. If you understood what you've seen today, don't forget to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you can keep watching other content like this. All right, until I see you on the next one.